Hi everyone, it's Donna from Donna's Backyard Garden. Here I am in my second backyard garden in my mom's backyard. She lives really close to me, so I tend to garden in her yard as well since she gets better sun than my backyard. Today I'm going to show you about some of the pests and diseases that I'm facing when planting my garden here. What we have here is my fenced in little part that I made this fence earlier this year because we had too many bunnies eating all of the pea sprouts and carrot greens when I tried to plant those before. So this dug up bed right here used to have peas in it. There's a couple of plants left with some peas actually. These are still edible, a little bit past their prime. As you can see, this bed I used to have carrots in, and you can see some carrot greens still in there, but you can see it has been taken over by weeds, mostly this plantain. So I need to dig it up like I did that one and get ready to plant another rotation of something in here. Right here we have a row of tomatoes. I planted them in the ground with a few inches of compost. They weren't doing well at first, but now they're actually my healthiest tomatoes. As you can see on the bottom, I had to take off most of the leaves close to the ground because they were getting tomato leaf spot, which I'll show you. This tomato right here is starting to get it on these leaves and spreading pretty high, so hopefully I can get on top of that. Over here we have my container garden patch. So there are some tomatoes in here, and these ones are really being taken over by the tomato leaf spot. I think it's a fungus, and it's in the soil apparently, and it spreads up the tomato and kills it. Over here I have some in the pots. This one is like pretty much dead because of it. I don't even know if these tomatoes that are on it are going to ripen up, but hopefully they will, and we'll get those. This one has pretty much spread. So I read that you can make a spray with water and baking soda to kind of protect the healthy leaves, so I'm going to do that and spray it on and see if I can save some of the tomato plants. Here we have my zucchini and yellow squash patch. It's doing pretty well. As we can see, there's a yellow squash ready to be picked. Zucchini down there. So it's producing a lot for me. But I've noticed that there's been some squash bug infestation, so I've had to go through and check the backs and make sure there's no squash bug eggs, and I had to kill them because they apparently eat up the whole thing. So I think I've done a pretty good job because I don't see... Oh, there's some right there. So I'm going to have to get those off. But I don't see that much more. So I think I've done a pretty good job. Little baby zucchini. Here we go. We've got my row of potatoes that I'm growing in grow bags. Look, it's got flowers on it. That one is not looking healthy. And I'm thinking, since they're in the same family as tomatoes, they might have caught some of this leaf spot virus. I don't know if potatoes can catch it, and maybe that's why they're not doing well, or maybe it's just at the end of its life cycle. So we'll see how those turn out. We have my Blue Lake bush bean patch. So I'm growing some green beans. You can see here some baby green beans are growing. The only thing is, I planted it pretty close and I didn't thin it out, so I don't know how it's going to affect the yield. Looks pretty healthy though so far, so hopefully it'll do okay. We got some more tomatoes here. Oh, they're coming. Some tomatoes, and there's some tomatoes growing. These ones I just cleared out from leaves that had the leaf spot virus, but I see some more coming, so I'm gonna have to do something to help these plants. Then of course we have the lovely ants that are making a trail all the way into my shed that I keep garden tools in. So I know they have a nest in there somewhere. Let's see if this works. We've got a gallon of water, and we've got some baking soda and a tablespoon. So we're going to make the solution here. Some test leaves to see how it handles this solution. Maybe come back tomorrow and see how it handled it. Spray some more. Try this plant. Oh no, I see more virus. I see more tomato leaf spot. Here we are in my front garden. I just have flowers this year. All these marigolds are self-seeded from last year. I have a tobacco flower plant that my dad gave me, a couple of these actually. They only come out in the morning and evening. Here we've got a basil plant that's doing really well. What is this called? Purslane, I think. That's edible. It's a weed in my pot. And here we have this nice tomato that grew so big, but it looks like I'm going to have to rip it out. Oh, the bottom leaves are dying. I'm not sure what's wrong with it. All the top leaves are curled up. This has been happening for a while, and then the one tomato that I do have on it has blossom and rot. So unfortunately, I think this one is a goner.